right, so we're recording. Awesome. So, hey, everybody, Ryan Sanders with Project Fresh. I have one of my really glad to have this time here with one of my clients, Rusty. How's it going? How you doing today?
Good, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, pleasure. Thank you. I know you're busy. I know you're trying to get up out of California here for your summer, so I appreciate your time too. I'll keep it short, hopefully no more than 15 minutes as we discussed, but just want to share with folks who I'll be serving in the future, give them a little bit of an idea of what it's like to work with me, with Project Fresh, what your experience has been. And to start off, just wanted to have those who get a chance to watch this video hear a little bit about yourself, particularly a little bit about your previous training, previous goals, what caught your attention about working with me, and what you wanted to achieve when we had that initial conversation.
Yeah, cool. First of all, I appreciate you. I appreciate the way you've sort of taken me under the training wing. So for those that are watching, I'm a longtime runner. I'm a long-time runner. You can tell by the color of this thing here. I've been around for a while, and I started running when I was a kid, and I got to the point where running was everything. Now I played basketball as a kid too, so I used to have to do some weight training back in Indiana. But really, if you say to, even to this day, if you say to me, hey, do you want to go run 10 miles? I'll say, let's go right now, and I'll stop everything I'm doing, put on my shoes, and let's go. Right. If you said, hey, let's go bike 40 miles, I'd say, you know what? Let me see if I can move some things around, and that'd be really cool. I hope we could do it. And if you say, let's go to the gym together, I'll go, I'm busy.
Busy, right.
Because I just never really liked it. So I'm a person who feels like they have to have accountability to go into the gym. Definitely. So therefore, I have to have a trainer. If I don't have a trainer, I don't go. And so what I've liked about working with you is that, first of all, you realize that. So you understand that me being in a gym doesn't come naturally, and that I have to be motivated and held accountable in a positive way. Secondly, I think you realize that I'm a goal-oriented guy, and that goals make a difference. And the conversations we've had about short-term and long-term goals have been really helpful to me. Yep. And then the third thing is, and I'll say this to especially to those who are maybe a little on the older side. You don't train me like I'm a 25. You train me like I'm my age. Right. And that's really helpful to me, because if someone doesn't recognize where someone is physically, but also chronologically, you can hurt someone. Yeah. And I've been to trainers where I fortunately I've recognized that early and said, I can't do that. So that's been really helpful. And I think, overall, what's really been cool is that you're helping me build some body mass. You're helping me do what I need to do. I have a doctor who told me at the Cooper Clinic that said, Rusty, when you're 80, you'll never miss an airplane, but you won't be able to put your bag up over the top of, if you don't build some muscle mass. So you're helping me do that. But at the same time, you're supporting my overall goals, which is running. So that's been great.
Excellent. That's good. Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. It's something that I see a lot, and I hear a lot too, is that trainers don't pay attention to the individual who they're working with, and they get excited. I've gotten excited too. I love helping people, but they kind of miss that key mark. Like, this individual needs to have training that meets them exactly where they are. And being that you're in a position of healing in the health professional world, you gotta take care of people exactly where they are. So I appreciate you bringing that point up. So we started in January. We talked a little bit before the holidays, and one of the questions I had was, so what results have you seen so far? If you could highlight a little bit of that. What have you seen so far in our training sessions?
Yeah. So I've seen a couple of things that have been really recognizable to me. One is I've definitely seen muscle mass being built that I wouldn't have built otherwise. I feel I not only can see it, but I feel it. So I feel strengthened my core and other muscle mass that I just didn't have before. And that's a real positive. I mean, that makes you feel stronger when you run. It makes you feel stronger when you pick up a box. It makes you feel stronger when you're, when I help my wife bring the groceries in. So that's all good. Secondly, I would tell you that the work you've done with my breathing has been extraordinarily helpful in my running. Excellent. And in other things that I do that might be of endurance or concentration. So just the teaching me how to breathe through the nose, out the mouth, rhythmically against an effort, using my breath for an effort has been really positive. And I think that's helped build endurance. So I was running the other day, we were doing interval training with my buddy, and I was really pushing hard, and I realized that everything was through the mouth. It was, and so as hard as it is in the middle of, full out, just reordering the breath and grabbing that from the nose down, all of a sudden I felt, more buoyancy, I felt more endurance. So that's been awesome. So muscle mass, that whole thing, and then my breathing is, both those really good.
Excellent. I feel like a broken record sometimes. In through the nose, out through the mouth.
If you don't, but it's like anything else. It's form, right? So if you're not teaching form at the same time, you're teaching everything else. Well, you can do a lot of things with bad form and not get good results. And I think what I've learned is, from over the years, is practice makes permanent. Practice doesn't make perfect. So if you're practicing the wrong thing, you'll be good. You'll be good at it.
Right.
But you'll be good at the wrong thing, not the right thing. So.
Very good. Very good. Oh, excellent. I appreciate that as well. That's good. And one thing I wanted to ask you about as well. You may have already answered this, but I'm just phrasing it in a question. Generally, what I do as a personal trainer, and I know we have this discussion, is I'll say, I want to give you 6 weeks to work with me, see if we start moving towards the results. 6 weeks can seem like a lifetime. A lot of people have this, they name it, this microwave mentality where, okay, I'm going to start this and I expect to see something today, if not tomorrow. So I say, okay, work with me 6 weeks. We'll start moving towards your goals and let me know how it is once we hit that 6-week mark. Well, starting in January and now being June, we're still working together. What is it that's kept you coming back? Why have you continued to sign up with me more sessions, as well as we move into the summertime? What was that thing?
Well, I think because you set a baseline, you set goals. We saw progress over those 6 weeks, and then at the end of the 6 weeks, we measured,
right.
And then we saw the progress from the beginning to the end. So I mean, I'm sure you'll explain to everybody what your process is, but you run me and you kill me, and we set a baseline, and then we come back 6 weeks later and you run me and you kill me, and lo and behold, I'm able to do more than I was 6 weeks earlier.
Right. That fit test.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
So that's what brings you back, and then setting another set of goals, and going from there. So I actually don't think 6 weeks is too long. I think 6 weeks is a really nice time frame too, because it straddles a month. It also, what was I read the other day, that Jeff Bezos from Amazon said that he realized that someone told him that, if you want to master a handstand, it's going to take you 6 months of practice. And you sit there and you go, well, really, a handstand, 6 months? Yeah, it does. So things take time. But maybe I'm a little weird than other people. Is I sort of also realize nothing good in life comes from instant gratification.
Yeah.
So that it takes time to get to things. But yeah, I keep coming back because we saw progress. And I like that. And now that, even that, now that we're going to do some training from a distance perspective, while I'm away geographically for a while, that goal, that progress, those steps are the things that will keep me motivated.
Awesome. And I like it too. It's one of the things that I'm transitioning myself into. I've done a lot of my previous training online in a different context, more of a consulting, but now after having had the time in person, kind of creating this hybrid format where if you do go away, either it be temporary or permanently, whatever the case may be, we don't have to end that, oh dang, we can't meet anymore. Still want to provide. And so I'm glad that you brought that up. But no, that's excellent. Man, we'll get back to that part because I want to ask you at the end what you're looking forward to moving forward. But I can't not go without addressing your love for running. And if you bring the words resistance training and running together, some people just don't see that pairing up. There's always the concern, I'm going to be too bulky, I'm going to be too heavy, it's going to slow me down. Those kind of different conceptions that come up when we think about pairing the two together. Share with us a little bit about how it's been. I know you touched on it before, but if you could focus on that specifically, how has that progress been for you, other than the breathing?
Yeah. So I forget. I got it around here someplace. It's a running book about the equation, the algorithm that you can kind of run against body fat, lean body mass, body fat, and your pace, your ability to. And it's a pretty clear diagram. I mean, the more body fat you have, the harder you have to work to get the pace that you normally would have with a higher lean muscle mass, lower percentage of body fat. So you don't get lower percentage of body fat without resistance training. I mean, you can starve yourself, but then you don't have any fuel, right? So then you put yourself in this, which is, by the way, prior to when I started resistance training, was pretty much where I was. I think I kept my body fat percentage down by starving my body. Therefore, I didn't have enough fuel to really power my body. So I think about the resistance training as in that perspective, a little more bulk that is muscle mass shouldn't get in the way, right? I mean, there's some amazing runners out there that you look at them and you go, look how fit they are. There are other runners that, are this thin, that have no body, that they look like they have no muscle on them at all. But oh, by the way, all of that is nothing but muscle. Right. So they got there because they're also doing some kind of resistance training. So I'm not freaked out about that. What I also add is core strength. Core strength doesn't come without some resistance, and you just have to have core strength. Otherwise, you just can't make the rest of it work.
It's true. So, are you noticing then some building core strength and that in turn?
Totally. For leg turnover, for upright, right posture. I mean, there's actually a form for good running. Being able to keep yourself upright with a little bit of lean, feeling like it's I use the chi running, and then your legs are, behind you, instead of in front of you, trying to, you're almost like you're falling forward. Well, you have to have core strength to be able to do that. And you have to have core strength to keep form, especially really long runs. For me, when I'm out there at 12, 15 miles, plus, if I'm not don't have the core strength right, my form will start to be all over the place.
Yeah. So. Excellent. Man, yeah, and it's all about setting a pace and maintaining the pace, right? As the body begins to fatigue, what do you tap into to help you maintain that posture while you're running?
Yeah, that's right.
Excellent. Great. Well, yeah, just the last question here. Again, appreciate the time. It's been fun. Summer's coming. Summer's approaching.
Yeah.
Taking off, moving across the country. Hope you have an excellent summer. What are you looking forward to in our training moving forward?
Yeah. So the goals that we've set together. This is really I'm excited about this summer because this could be the first summer in my life that I have stayed in the gym without having somebody with me. So I'm psyched about that. Which ultimately will, lend itself to a time that I have that not everybody has, but I'm sort of fortunate and blessed to be able to do it. A time to really kind of focus in on these kinds of things during nice period of 3 months. So the goals that we're setting, the process that we're going through to do that, the accountability that we'll have, that I'll feel with you during that time. I'm excited. And summer for me is just because you sweat more, you're outdoors more, you're doing lots of more activity. I'm actually a little excited that I might even see an acceleration, coming out of the winter months when the body wants to go, hey, you got to put some stuff on to keep you warm. So maybe some of this will decide to leave itself at the beach.
Yeah, there you go. I know you like to run in those winter months too. You were sharing with me you're running out below degree.
Oh yeah, I don't mind. Hey, look, as long as there's an outdoors and the good Lord lets me do it, I'm going to run. I really don't really care about the temperatures out there. So
that's awesome. All right, Rusty, I appreciate your time. It's been a pleasure. And
all right, same here, Ryan.
We'll see you again here soon. Our session's coming up, actually, our next one.
Yep.
Our online. So yeah, pleasure. I hope you have a nice afternoon, and we'll keep it at that.
All right. Thanks.
Yes, sir.